getting hot out there and you need to be careful. In fact, I'm going to put up another video, might already be up actually, check it out on my channel, about the dangers of dehydration behind the wheel. Yes, even if you're in an air-conditioned car, believe you me, this might surprise you. But anyway, we won't get into that in this video. In this video, we're going to look at some of the shenanigans that are going on in the car industry. We got Bentley aping Jaguar, we got Singer trying to emulate the most iconic Porsche ever. We've got Maserati getting a bit desperate, and we've got BMW and Lotus milestones. All of that to get into right after this.
A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
Right, so you remember this Jaguar concept, the Type 00 that they revealed in a controversial campaign some time ago. It's now, the actual physical models are now doing the rounds. Apparently it's now at a major event in the UK right now. People are checking it out, and it's divisive as ever. You know, it divides opinion. It's quite an out there sort of design. Now the question is, who in the automotive world would have looked at that and thought, yes, forget all of the controversy and arguments around this thing, let's copy it? Well, it's weird, this one. I mean, that car, that Jaguar concept, I've said this before in the video, so I'll say it again. Like, the kid in me quite likes it, you know, but the kid in me likes Lady Penelope's Thunderbirds from the TV show, right? But the kid in me likes that. If you've ever seen a real one, a full-scale one of those, yeah, it's not the best looking thing, really. So it's like, you know, you grow up and you think, okay, yeah, that was a bit of a laugh, but in reality, come on. So, I mean, so again, so part of me really likes the Jaguar concept, but part of me is like, well, is that realistic? Is that genuine? Is that practical? Is it logical? Is that the right thing to be bringing forward into a society that may be a little bit more chastened by things that have been going on in the world? Well, I don't know, but apparently one other company, and it's not Rolls-Royce, taking inspiration from Lady Penelope's Thunderbird Rolls either. It's actually Rolls' former sister company, Bentley. So Bentley, clearly, the designers of Bentley took one look at the Jaguar and thought, we're having a bit of that. And that's what they've done. And they've created this concept. And this concept is the EXP15. And again, it's a concept, so it's not a production car, but it's their concept of what their future things would look like. And they are sort of, to justify the design of this thing and the long bonnet and everything, and this is electric. So again, what's under the bonnet if the thing is electric? And we all know that the electric batteries normally sit in the floor pan of a car. And we know that the actual motors are now so compact that they could literally fit into the axles or even into the wheel wells themselves. So you could have 4 of them in each wheel well, and you have 4-wheel drive. So you don't need a long bonnet. So what's under there? You know, camping equipment, a spare room, a bedroom. What's under there? You know, but they are saying that this thing actually harks back to their 1930 Bentley Speed 6, so-called Blue Train Coupe. I've seen one of those. Actually, I think it was a replica. I saw one of those in the UAE. Mohammed bin Sulaim has one. So it's in the metal. It's a majestic thing. It is. But I mean, you know, even by today's standards, it's outlandishly big. It's outrageous, you know. But it's very much a vehicle of its time, you know. And again, this Bentley, I mean, even though it has that blocky Lego-like, you know, thrusting, long bonnet, short tail sort of design about it, not entirely dissimilar to that Jaguar concept, but yet somehow it managed to be even more fussy. And I think they tried to introduce some detail to give it some quirkiness, but in fact they just added up more confusion to it. So it's a really, really tricky one. I mean, you know, honestly, that bonnet, there's no V12 under there, so why is it as long as, I don't know, an aisle in IKEA? You know, you could get a flat pack in there, that's for sure. Or maybe that's what it's for. Maybe that's what it's for. It's for trips to IKEA. Anyway, so that's out. They've introduced that. They've looked at a whole new Bentley grille, a whole new Bentley bonnet mascot as well. Take a look at that. Let me know what you think in the comments. I want to hear your views on that one. So you're familiar with Singer, right? Singer do those. They take the Porsche 911 964 generation and they sort of make it a retro looking car. And they do exquisite work. The cars are absolutely beautiful. If you've ever seen them in the metal, ever seen them in person, They are exquisite. The finishing, the style, the quality, they're really, really good. And you see one and you immediately want one. So they haven't had a flop so far. And all of the cars that they put out, every one of them is a hit. You know, everyone is an instant, oh, I want one. So when I saw this press release that they are going to be creating 100 of their interpretation of the fabled 1980s 911 Carrera Coupe, based again on a 964, using carbon fiber bodywork, giving it a 420 horsepower, 4-liter flat six, co-developed with Cosworth. A Red Bull advanced technology, chassis reinforcement, variable timing, 4 valve heads. You know, I thought, wow, I mean, that's going to be pretty special. That's going to be pretty amazing. However, and the thing is, especially because for me, when I think 911, when I think Porsche 9, when in my head, if somebody says Porsche 911, the image that instantly pops into my head, and tell me which 911 pops into your head. But for me, if somebody says Porsche 911, the image that pops into my head is a 1980s Turbo Targa. That's with the big whale tail. That's, to me, is like, that epitomizes 911. That, to me, if I had a 911, if I was going to buy a 911, it would be a 1980s, at least a Targa, if not a turbo or a turbo look. I don't really care if it has a turbo or not, honestly. Who wants the friskiness of a turbo on those things? But hey, it would be nice. I wouldn't say no. But yeah, if I had one, that's what I would have. So to me, this is like the ultimate 911. But this interpretation that they've created, honestly, I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. I think maybe they just smoothed it off too much, or they've, you know, so this is the first time that Singer have come out with a 911 interpretation, and for me, it's a fail. I just, you know, there's no part of me that goes, oh, I want that. What my reaction is like, yeah, I want the original. That's all that does for me. I want the original mullet and Miami Vice version, in white, with the black accents on it. That's kind of what I want, or reverse that, either way around. Well, no, not with the white accents, no, but black on black probably. But yeah, that original 930 for me, not this thing. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now check this out. This is a Maserati, and this is an evolution of the MC20. So it keeps the 620 brake horsepower Nettuno V6. And it weighs less than 1,500 kilogram. It's got butterfly drawers. It's got a retractable roof in the cello, 0 to 62 miles per hour in under 3 seconds. It is Maserati's junior supercar, if you like, you know. So this is the update, the latest version, and they've called it the MuckPura. What the heck is a MuckPura? That sounds like some kind of Nivea cream that you would get for your skin or something like that. Or were they going Muck from McLaren, Pura from Ferrari's Pura Sangue, MuckPura? I mean, this makes, I mean, honestly, like, you know, I should iterate that I always say that car companies should stick with names rather than numbers and letters and stuff like that. So full credit for them for having a name, but MuckPura? What the heck is a MuckPura? Anyway, that's what it is. That's the car. Let me know what you think of it. But more importantly, let me know what you think of that name. Because I think that, I mean, yeah, hey, what are you driving? I'm driving a Maserati MuckPura. Hope you're enjoying this video. Make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe if you're not already doing so. And support independent automotive journalism channels like mine. You can do that at patreon.com, coffee.com, or taking out a subscription right here on YouTube. Or you know what, better still, you can go and buy my books. I've got 3 books out now. They're all on Amazon. They're all available to buy. More details on this are in the description, but buying any of these books will certainly help. Thanks so much for watching. So check this out. This is another car that's being unveiled this weekend, a major UK car event, and it is called the Lanzante. I hope I pronounced that right. Lanzante 9559. This is a limited run car. It's a supercar, obviously. It marks 30 years since Lanzante's landmark 1995 victory at the 24-hour of Le Mans. It basically ran a McLaren F1 GTR in that race. So like an F1, that old classic F1, this thing also has a central driving position. It's not based on a McLaren F1, but it is based on a McLaren. So basically what they've done is they've taken the McLaren V8 and they've tuned it to 4-litre twin-turbo V8, and they've tuned it to give it 850 horsepower, 880 Newton meters of torque, put it in a car that they've skimmed down to 1250 kilograms. Only 59 examples of these are going to be made. So it's going to be super quick, and it is on a McLaren chassis, but obviously it's been rebodied and they've put the 3 seats in there and given it a central driving position. So basically what they've done is they've taken a McLaren, they've rebodied it and tuned the engine. That's what they've done. So how much would you pay for something like that? You know, you take a McLaren and you've modified it basically, okay? So price of McLaren plus 150 grand, something like that, maybe 200, maybe 300. Let's say 300. Let's say max for the whole package 400 grand maybe at the most. Even that is like, why 400 grand really? Well, this thing, these 59 cars are priced at just over £1 million each. £1 million each. I mean, okay, this is for a brand that nobody's even heard of. £1 million each for this supercar, which is a tribute to a famous victory that nobody remembers, but somebody is going to be, or 59 rich people in the world are willing to pay apparently over £1 million each for this 3-seater supercar. Well, a fool in their money, etc., etc. Good luck to them. By the way, I just came back a couple of days ago from Wales, from Cardiff, where Suzuki was celebrating 55 years of their all-wheel drive, all-grip technology. And we had a lot of fun because they basically commandeered a section of what they call Monster Mountain, a quarry, where they normally run motocross, motorbike off-road training there. And they gave us some old Suzuki off-roaders to basically go and have some fun. And we did. So I've just posted the story and the video on browncarguy.com, and also the video on this channel, so go check it out. Meanwhile, I also did a review of the Suzuki Swift all grip. I have reviewed the Swift, but I hadn't reviewed the all grip, so I've just done that. That's online as well. The video of that is there, so go check that out. By the way, BMW's got a birthday to celebrate, 50 years of the iconic 3 Series BMW. And I tell you what, this has left me pining and missing my old E30, like missing a limb, quite frankly. It's an incredible lineup of cars, an incredible history, and honestly, the 3 Series, you can't really undersell what it's done, what it stands for, what it's done for the brand, what it's done for the executive sector, what it's done for the sports saloon sector. You know, it's one of those cars that, you know, nobody can argue against it. You can't have an argument against a 3 Series. The 3 Series is almost like a default good car to just go and get, you know. And then you've got the sporty versions and the really sporty versions, and you really can't lose with these cars, you know. I mean, the E30, which honestly, okay, yes, the E21 preceded it, but the E30 to me is like the OG. You know, and that to me is also the best 3 Series. And of all the 3 Series, I always put the E30 at the top. Second to that, I'll put the E46, because I think the E46 perfectly encapsulated the spirit of a classic 3 Series combined with the modernity of everything that you expect from a contemporary car. And it combined that into a package that is just as thrilling to drive as it ever was, but as convenient and useful as 3 Series should be. So it's absolutely brilliant. I think that, you know, the cars, I still think the 3 Series is great. I know it's like 3 and 4 Series now, you know, but I still think, you know, it's one of the go-to default cars if you're looking for something in that segment, more so than even its rivals. And long may it continue. Let me know which is your favorite 3 Series in the comments below. And moving on to another amazing anniversary celebration this year. It's for basically my favorite car, my all-time favorite car. In fact, if I'm pointing at it correctly, you can see it. It's just up there, the Lotus Esprit. Been in love with that ever since I saw Roger Moore dive into the water in The Spy Who Loved Me, in one of those things, and it turned into a submarine. To me, it was just a perfect combination between a spaceship and a car. That's what that was. If you think of it in 1970s when it came out, that's what it kind of represented. But anyway, we are now celebrating 50 years of this car, 50 years from the point at which the Esprit was first shown at the 1975 Paris Motor Show. That's where it was. And this year they've been doing a bunch of events. Keep this date in your diary. So on the 5th and 7th of September, it is at Hampton Court, the Concours of Elegance. They are going to be celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Lotus Esprit, and they will have, they say they will have a carefully curated selection of Esprits on Saturday, 6th of September, spanning the model's remarkable 28-year production run, from the crisp pure lines of the original Giugiaro design Series 1 to the muscular presence of the final V8 series. So I think there's going to be 10 cars there. It'll be quite extraordinary. I'm not going to miss it. I'm going to be there. Come down, and I hope to see you there. So there you go, there's a quick roundup of everything that's been going on in the world of cars. I hope you've enjoyed this therapy session with Brown Car Guy. Let me know if you want to see more stuff like this in the comments below. Make sure that you hit like, share and subscribe on your way out, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Shout out time, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, if you enjoy my content, why not get involved? Buy me a coffee. You can do that at either of these links, or if you're watching on YouTube, buy me a thanks or take out a membership. It all helps. It really does.